folks, this is Vishal from Equity Guru, and I did a very basic video on stock screeners, but I want to talk about how I use stock screeners. And these are two resources that I would say maybe this site is under the radar. It's called Finviz, or Financial Visualizations. And there's another app or screener that I use, and it's Webull, Webull, and this is the app that I have on my computer. Free, you can log on to it from app.webull.com/screener. And these are two powerful tools, I think, that a trader or an investor can utilize. But let's start with Finviz, financial visualization. Again, you can look at the top gainers, the new highs, etc. You can even look at the heat map here of the S&P, what's moving and what's not moving. And this can sort of help you, in determining how to use a screener properly for the day if you're a day trader, or maybe, you want to look at things that are still under the radar or not moving up as much as, say, if we look at entertainment, right? What's lagging? Obviously, it's Netflix, and we have LYV. So you can sort of set your screener up in a way where you're focused on that sector that is hot for the day and determining what needs to catch up. So speaking about screeners, if you go to the home page, let's just make it easy, but this tab never disappears. You'll see the word screener here. So let's click on that, and you get something that's a bit more, I guess you could say, complicated, right? But let's just simplify it. There's a lot of inputs that you can add here for your screener. Let's stick with NASDAQ stocks. You can change your market cap, but let's say we're a day trader and we want to trade breakouts. So we will look for 52-week highs, and you can choose your market caps. We'll keep it at any for now, just because I think you'll see, we have a broad selection, and you can basically tend to narrow it down from there. But the more inputs that you put, obviously, the handful of selection you'll have, right? And that's very important for a trader, especially because you don't want to be looking at hundreds or thousands of stocks charts per day, although some tend to do so. But you can add any inputs here. Let's choose something that's over $10 for now. And the signals here. So this is where it's quite powerful. Finviz has this little tab here, which allows you to look at the top gainers, the new highs, the new lows, what's active. Use this as your base case, and then you can filter it down with the price and the exchanges and all those other goodies here. So let's do new highs. And I realize that this might not be the best one. And as you can see, there's only one stock here that meets our criteria. And this is because obviously the markets are in this downtrend, right? But if let's say we get rid of price and we see what's new highs, and look at that, there's one stock on the NASDAQ that is making a new high here. So let's just choose any here. And you can see on the US exchanges here, there's only 7 stocks in this market that is making new highs. And I like this tab here on Finviz. So I clicked on TA, which stands for technical analysis, but you'll see what this does. You click on TA, gives you this beautiful layout. You have your charts there showing breakouts, because again, we are looking at new highs. You get your sector, your industry, and you get all these other numbers, which matter if you're into the finance aspect of things. But you can see very simple and very nice layout here telling you what's breaking out. If you are a day trader, you're looking at stocks that are breaking out, making 52-week highs to chase that momentum. And a lot of people are probably doing that in this type of market where it's a red day or a red market, and people are trying to make money, and they tend to do so with breakouts. So, General Mills, hey, Molson Coors, people drinking beer, I guess, right? A lot of 52-week highs here. And let's do the other thing. Let's look at new lows. And, you can see we have 189 total, which makes more sense because these markets are, of course, not doing too well. So keep that in mind when you're using a screener. Know the type of market we have, the market condition, and then you can choose your presets here. But a very, very awesome website here, financial visualization, where you can look at stocks that are either making top gains or new highs. You can also look at supports and technical levels. If you look at triangles, wedges, double bottoms, double tops, a lot of people who follow my work are familiar with some of these words, and this is sort of the screener I like to use. I like to look for double bottoms and ranges and as such, because it sort of gives me this idea of what could be basing. So I think a screener is much more powerful if you have a style of trading or investing, right? If you have criteria that you look for, instead of screening through multiple charts, you can just do a screener and narrow it down to a certain strategy or criteria that you look for, and it makes life much more easier for you. And this is what I would do. I would choose my double bottom. Obviously, I have certain numbers of prices that I look for to trade, under $10, let's say, and it gives me 36 total stocks that I can put down in my screener for the day and maybe trade this for a few weeks. Obviously, I'll change things around with volume, etc., because volume is quite important for a trader. So very, very powerful tool here, financial visualization. I think this is one website that you should definitely have under your favorites. And then the second one is Webull. And I bring this one up because this is, I think, the best screener for us Canadians. And as you can see, you can break it down to US stocks. You can actually break it down to even Chinese mainland stocks, because I believe Webull is connected to mainland China, and then Canadian. So for us Canadians here, this is the screener that I like to use. You can break it down through your TSX, Canadian Stock Exchange, TSX Venture, break it down to sectors. I know there's a lot of uranium bulls out there, so you can even take a look at all the uranium stocks. You can add any quotes that you want to see here, right? So if you want to look at market caps, we can look at all the, basically anything from zero to a market cap of 4.7 billion here. But of course, you can change the parameters here. You can change the prices here. So if you want to look at, say, stocks that are under your budget, or meet your criteria of budgets, for example, a lot of traders want to, buy stocks that are a bit more cheaply priced. You can do so with the price here. You also have percentage changes. And again, folks, these are things you can just add and remove if it doesn't meet your criteria. And you can see tons of these uranium companies, which we've actually been talking about a lot of these over on EQUITY.GURU. Let's get rid of this financial indicator as well. But if you are someone that enjoys certain financial formulas, PEs, dividend yield, net margin, they're all there for you to play with. And then the best thing I like about Webull, you have your screener now, double click, and you get this. You get your screeners, you get all the stocks you screened here to the left. You have your chart here in the middle. You also have all the news down here. You can look at the financials as well, the income statement, press releases, a bit of a brief sort of explanation on what the company does and where they're located, their main website, and you can just do so with all the stocks that you've screened here. So very powerful tool here for Canadian investors who want to focus on Canadian markets, because let's face it, that TMX screener has some limits, but I think this app here, Webull, is perfect for Canadian investors and US investors. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Finviz and Webull, two powerful stock screeners to add to your arsenal, and much more powerful if you have a criteria or a strategy that you tend to employ. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. And go out there, enjoy these screeners, and I'll see you guys in the next video.